back to the series of how to create professional looking branding if you don't have the financial ability at the moment to hire a professional to do everything really high quality. At the end of the series, you will be able to create your own professional looking branding. This is part 2 of the series, and it's all about choosing the right fonts and typography. That will mean your logo and also for any other text that you are sharing on your website, on your print materials, maybe your packaging. If you are at the start of your journey as a small business owner, then this series will be very helpful for you. Until you are ready to elevate your branding, you can still have professional looking and consistent brand all across your social media and your materials. So let's talk about fonts. In the previous video, we talked about the brand's personality and the tone of voice. If you haven't watched that, please watch that first. I'm gonna link it up here and in the description below, because after you have defined all of this, then you are ready and you have the foundation to choose your brand fonts and to create a logo. There are so many fonts out there, so many typefaces, and it is really overwhelming. First, let's talk about the types of fonts. We have the serif fonts, we have sans serif fonts, we have the script fonts. You can keep notes as well in this section because it is really important to choose the correct type of font for the type of business that you have. So the feel of the serif font is traditional, trustworthy, elegant, and even luxurious. If you use sans serif fonts, that means that your business is clean, modern, and simple. Script fonts are more personal, artistic, and usually more feminine. Make sure that you choose script fonts with a grain of salt because they are less legible. So I would advise maybe to use a script font for your slogan or maybe a supporting font. I wouldn't advise very easily a script font for a logo. You might be able to find a more legible one if your brand is more personal, softer, cute. And again, you need to also think of the usage of your logo, but that's where a professional comes and they know exactly how to work around different font types, and based on your business they will advise accordingly. They will take out all the stress and frustration and it will be completely worth it. Now that we know the font types, it's time to think about our audience. Are you targeting professionals? Then maybe you should use traditional serif fonts or even sans serif fonts. Are you selling fun products to young people? Then you might go to a more playful territory and use a playful font or even handwritten. Or maybe you want to look more premium, then you can use an elegant serif font or a minimalist sans serif font. And as I mentioned earlier, make sure that your font is legible. You need to make sure and test it that your font will still be legible in a very small scale. Then it's the fun part of where you can find and source those fonts. I am going to list here a few websites and also on the description box down below so that you can go there and browse based on the font type, the font family that you would like to use. I would advise to first have in your mind what's the font type that you are aiming to use and then filter the results based on that, because if you go and search on a font website through the whole different collections, the frustration will be too much. And just a note for me, fonts really matter for your business. Don't skip it. Don't just choose the first font that you might see or maybe the font that another business is using. At the end of the day, we want to still stand out as a business and be a bit more unique. Until you have a unique logo, you can just use a different font to your competitors and still use it everywhere. Remember, whatever you choose after watching these videos, you need to be consistent. Save it. Which font have you chosen? That's the one you are sticking to. Consistency is the most important thing for your brand. And that was today's video. That was part 2 of the series of how to create your branding for free by yourself, and you can still have a professional looking result. There is the previous video that was about your brand's personality and your brand's tone of voice. Again, if you haven't watched it, please go and watch that first. If you found it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel, because I am sharing a lot of valuable information for design, branding, packaging, and business advice. The next video will be all about how to choose your brand's colors. I hope to see you there.